Alright, hello guys, I'm Ronnie Galen. We're here with Engineers Without Borders.
I'm Corey King.
Alright, we're just going to tell you a little bit about our organization at first. Our mission is to design and implement projects in developing countries, and our chapter is a student-led chapter. As of right now, our main project is a pipeline project in La Victoria, Ecuador. We're supported by grants and donations. We have a very diverse number of majors. There's a lot of us. We have engineering, public health, earth science, and international business majors. We're a nonprofit 501c3 and tax-deductible organization. A little bit about our project, the community. The town's name is called La Victoria. It's in the Canton of Las Lajas in the province El Oro. Their primary export is coffee. They have severe dry season, which limits productivity. And because of this, water is currently being trucked in from other towns, which renders them economically stagnant. They have low access to technology and tools, and there's a lack of topographical information because of, as I see on the next slide, where it's located. It's located very close to Peru, and because of political issues in the past, the Army won't really release topographical information.
All right, so I wanted to talk to you more about our project, and you guys are probably looking up here like, what is this, a joke or something? But a year ago, this is all the project information that we had. We asked our Peace Corps representative down in La Victoria to draw us a map so we could get some spatial awareness. This is what we got. You can imagine the difficulty of doing design and engineering calculations based off of that. So we went on our first assessment trip this past January 2013, and now we have a better understanding of our project scope. So a coffee union asked us to create a gravity-fed pipeline from a mountain stream to two HDP storage ponds. Those storage ponds help feed basically coffee nurseries that are owned by the municipality and the coffee union. So the mountain stream is a year-round source, which is why it will be sufficient for helping the community during the dry season. And ultimately, we believe the gravity-fed pipeline is the easiest to maintain, cheapest, and most effective option. So you can see here where that big red arrow is pointing. This is located at the reservoir in the middle is where we're standing. You'll see that in just a second. But the lateral distance here is about 2 miles. It's about 200 feet up. And it's just, you know, covered in, the stream source is just covered in brush. So we hiked up along this hill. It was quite a hike. And this is basically the picture during the dry season. So we estimate the flow rate to be about 10 gallons per minute. It gets a little bit deeper here, which is where we're hoping to put our intake structure, located at about 1,600 feet in elevation from sea level. But this is it during the wet season. So you can see just how what the change in water level is for the entire community. This rock here is the exact same rock that those people were standing on in the other picture. So an important part of So these are our pipeline paths. On the right, you can see are basically where the two storage ponds are. The one in the middle is higher elevation to the one on the right. On the left here is our water source. This red path is the area where we hiked up. That ridge that you saw in the picture is this triangle shape. On the way down, the stream bed is shown in blue. We've done a lot of our calculations based on this yellow pipeline here. It goes from the water source on a contour down into the first reservoir. And we also evaluated a couple sources farther down the stream bed. This is from a different angle. Again, you can see just how the pipelines follow the hill contour. So our elevation profiles, again, it's quite a hike up. As you can imagine, the riverbed goes perfectly down. You know, water runs downhill. And our pipeline paths here, for the most part, are down. And you'll notice the yellow pipeline, the one that I was talking about with, is the one that we've been doing a lot of our calculations on. There's a little bit of uphill here and uphill here. But even though it's a gravity-fed pipeline, with 200 feet of head, it'll be sufficient to get over these hills. And on top of that, it provides a very convenient place for our clean-out area for any sediment that gets into the system. So this is the first reservoir. This is located by the larger coffee nursery. This, all it is basically an HDP tarp that's put into the ground. It's gravel in this area. And it hasn't been used, as you can see, because there's no water. It does have the volume. It's 60 cubic meters of volume, which is enough to supply this the crops for about a week. And that's located at 1,375 feet. And then this is the next one. This feeds into a reforestation plant as well as the coffee union's private land. Similar situation. It's almost the exact same size, but different brush cover is falling into it because it's unused. So part of this project will be basically designing a simple cover over to put over that. So our pipeline overall, it'll be a 50 millimeter diameter and buried underground. However, the bedrock soil layer is pretty high, so we may have to top cover it. Flow velocity should be about 1.3 meters per second when open. That's like 4.5 feet per second. And our intake is actually a siphon spillway design to help with the settling of soils that are in the water. Just for it to go to the different pipeline, to the different reservoirs, a clean out structures, and a simple outflow structure. And so here are SolidWorks drawings. Real quick, the outlet structure is just a simple sawhorse design with the PVC attached to it. Our outflow structure will be in basically an open-air concrete box. There's valves on both sides of this T-joint that will allow us to flush. If you remember, this is located where the pipeline goes down and then back up. That allows us to flush out both sides of the pipeline. Lastly is our siphon spillway. Pretty simple design, but this is a plastic barrel cast in concrete. We have the main flow valve that provides suction. The top valve basically acts as a primer, and this whole thing has to be submerged. You remember in that picture just how high the water level is. This thing has to operate both in that dry season as well as be able to survive the wet season. Ultimately, we're going to expand basically the pipe diameter here to 150 millimeters, and according to our calculations, that's enough to have about 0.1 millimeter soil settle. Sorry, 0.01, excuse me.
Right here is one of our coffee nurseries. This one in particular is at the high school where the high school agricultural students work, and it is home to about 180,000 seedlings, and it's the that we have for the coffee union we're working with. So we're going to be giving water for about 360,000 seedlings. And if you can see on the ground, there's a little bit of pools of water, which we'll get to in the next slide. Now, the soil in the area is clay, which is a big help when I get into it. They have a serious lack of water conservation there because they don't know. It's not that they're ignorant or something. They honestly don't know. So we plan on putting the coffee nurseries on a slight gradient. So this way, any excess water that they use, because they just use a hose, any excess water will just run down and will create like a nice little cistern of some sort, or essentially just a pool where they can just retake the water and bring it back up. And this will also work for any storms because they get such severe storms. They can use that water so they don't have to use the holding ponds. We also are considering in the future, not this project, implementing drip irrigation here and in some of the other farms where the larger crops are. And this is just our timeline and travel. We had a trip in January. It went well. We sent 8 travelers. It was about $12,000. We have a pre-construction trip in May. It's in about 2.5 weeks, I think. Sending 4 travelers down. It's about $6,000. And we have an implementation trip in December, which is the fun stuff. And we're sending about 7 people down. It's going to be about $10,000 in materials. We're working with the people in Ecuador to get prices, and we're pretty sure on what the prices are, and we're working towards making our money for that. We couldn't do any of this without any of these sponsors. We would like to give a special thanks to Boeing Corporation, the Novel Corporation, and Schnabel Engineering.
So we also partner with some USC and academia sponsors. Our main trip is mostly paid for by the Dobson International Service Grant. We have a couple of projects in the local community, robotics mentoring for some middle school students. We've designed a rain barrel project for our honors residence hall garden, or dorm garden. And a big thing I want to point out here is these Magellan Research Grants. These are basically independent study grants. It's outside of classwork, and collectively these are worth about $7,000. And it's basically for the evaluation of our basically La Victoria water sources and our pipeline design. So we just wanted to leave you with 5 reasons that we think you should support our chapter. Well, you or your company, you'd be supporting sustainable and organic farming development in La Victoria, Ecuador. You'd be encouraging international service and professional development by students here at USC. Maintaining project momentum between our assessment and implementation phase. This is particularly important for projects in developing countries. As I'm sure you guys will know, this kind of disconnect tends to be fatal for a lot of nonprofit organizations. We think we have the capability, with your help, to make sure that's a smooth transition. Lastly, and what I think is most important, that we're one of USC's most dream student organizations. We are about 3 years old. We received this project last year. And this 5-year project, which should cost about $70K total, we've raised about $20,000 so far. This was in 1 year. As well as those local service opportunities, I think that's pretty impressive. Lastly, and I'm sure you guys will appreciate this, we're tax deductible. So thank you for allowing us to present here today. We'd be honored to have you support our project. We do have handouts at the ASFE publication tables in the back. It's just a nice letter, some contact information, as well as basically the tiers of what our sponsors get, depending on their donation level. If you have any questions, please ask now, or when you come up, or if you just want to shout, Corey, that won't work, please do.
We have time for a couple of questions if somebody has some comments.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about your reception with the locals? How did you get along with them, and were they excited about the project?
They were really excited, actually. They're all very helpful and very welcoming people when they saw that we were going to help them, because these coffee farms that we'd be helping are very communal, and they're very close-knit communities, so we're not just helping like, oh, the coffee in your Justice School. We're helping everybody, and we fit in pretty well there. I actually like mingled with locals. I hung out with all of them all the time. I was always playing soccer with them at night. So we got along very well, and they liked us a lot.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Engineers Without Borders is... EWB is something ASFE has been a big supporter of, and any support that anybody would like to send. I know many companies in here contribute to them on a regular basis. So next.